Yo, what's poppin' YouTube? Super motivated today. Making a second video. What is Gucci? What is good? I am Shampoo. You are the shampooers. Put on your spirit tech belts and get ready for this important download about addiction, yo. So, as some people who have been following me for a long time know, I was a heroin addict for 7 years. Yeah, I started with those little blue Roxy's, 30 milligrams. Started popping them on the weekends, and that turned into the weekdays, and then that turned into every day. And then that turned into like 3 a day, and then that turned into like as many as I could get a day, and then that turned into heroin, and that turned into needles, and that turned into Xanax, and that turned into losing my job at Boeing, well, getting laid off because I didn't appreciate it. But I'm sure it's because of what I was doing. Getting laid off from my job, losing my apartment, losing my truck, losing my kid, losing everything. Right? Sometimes when we don't appreciate things, we gotta lose them. And then become a different person and get them back. You can always get the things back, but the lessons you learn through your belief in things that are important to you are important. So, I want to tell you guys how important your choices in your heart truly, truly are. Because through this addiction that I've experienced, right? It's like you go through these different phases. Like, just like it didn't come on all in one day, it's not gonna just go away in one day. You're not learning the lesson if that's how it happens. Right? You're not learning the lesson. If it just goes away, then what was the purpose? I don't get it. Right? Right? So, I'm gonna take a left right here and get off the highway and tell you how important it is every single choice you make. Because you know in your heart when you're done. You know in your heart truly if you're believing you're done or if you have reservations. You know, maybe right now at this point in your life, you don't have a means to money. And that's why you're not using. Maybe you don't have a vehicle. Maybe you're not a good hustler. Maybe your source got cut off. Who knows? But until the reason you're not doing it is because of your choice, not based on anything else. Not because you don't have the means. Not because you don't have a ride. Not because you can't score. Right? Because I'm talking into a phone right now, right? Right? This is cash money right here, right? And I was just like $25 in my pocket right now. Yo, you might not think that's a lot, but you find a sick dope addict that found $24? Yo, that's a fucking Yahtzee, bro. That's a Yahtzee all day. But what I'm trying to say is, that is when your experiences start to change, or when you prove to the reality that you made a difference, yo. When you prove to the reality that you're really changed. Why would the reality bless you with an abundance of money if you're just going to kill yourself with it? Why would it bless me with a job where I'm getting a good amount of energy or income to have this tool, to have all these experiences I want to have, if I'm just going to blow it on dope? The reality sees ahead and over the mountains. It knows you better than you, right? So you can't fake it. You can't say, I'm kind of going to be done. Even though it might be a process, even though it might take 6-7 months for you to finally be like, every phase of that, you're like, okay, I've been the person that quit for 3 months and then picked up a little bit, but realized right away I wasn't going to go back. Whatever it looks like for you, I'm just telling you that this is the difference. I remember when I made that choice, like, I'm done for good. Threw my shit away. That was that. I was done. You want to know how my fucking reality changed that day? Okay, so let's just put it this way. My dad drops me off at the motel, right? I got $100 in my pocket. Here's my choice right here. I get a room. I still have $30 easy left over. What would I normally have done? Call up the dope guy that shows up to your front fucking door or your room, like the goddamn Domino's pizza delivery guy. You know, the guy that got the good ass drugs, just pop up right there within 30 minutes of your phone call. That's what I normally would have done. But no, I went in my room and I took a bath and I just sat there and I thought about it and I thought about it and I started thinking and I started asking for thoughts and feelings to help me understand what this addiction really was and why it was so hard for me to beat it. Help me, give me strength and thoughts and ideas, because I know that that's how it works. So all of a sudden I start thinking about balance. I start realizing that for every medicated moment that felt amazing, there was equally as much non-medicated moment miserable. Starving because I didn't have money. Broke so I didn't have a place to stay. My dad pissed off at me and upset because I'm on drugs. It didn't make sense, right? But that made perfect sense. Every single moment that I was feeling medicated, and I didn't even have to be at this point. At that point, I was fine. I wasn't even dope, sick, or nothing. I was just doing it. But it's all a lesson, right? It's all a lesson. And then it came to me and it said, do you know how your dad feels about you doing this? Every time that you do this, whatever good you're getting out of it, 10 times as bad is coming to your dad every single time. And that's what it took for me to realize, because I feel other people's hearts, and most people do. I don't want to ever be a reason that somebody's upset or worried. So you know what? I got out of that bath and I decided I was going to wait a little longer. And it just kept giving me this strength. So I went and did laundry in their units. And there was only 2 washers. And I do appliance repair work for a living with my dad. He has his own business. And sure enough, one of the washers is out of order. And I go, you know, the water's not draining. I know exactly what's wrong with it. Pick up 3 days free in that motel room because a quick fix that I knew how to do. You know, I knew what needed to be done. So I helped them out, they helped me out. But guess what? Had I called the dope man, I wouldn't have been in that laundry room doing laundry. I wouldn't have got those 3 free days. Even the guy working at the front desk handed me a free thing of all laundry soap. Just handed it straight over to me. You see how these little tiny things, but it's every moment. I'm telling you guys, the moment that you're in tune with yourself and your heart and your choices, the moment you follow it to the T, every single door opens right when it needs to perfectly. And then once you become aware of that, it gets really fun, right? So that kid that hands me that soap, I remember he asked me, he goes, you know, I've been listening to a lot, just randomly out of nowhere, he's out smoking a cigarette, and he's like, I said something to him, and he goes, you know, I've been listening to a lot of like inspirational, spiritual stuff on YouTube, and blah, 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 and then that inspired me to want to make a channel. And then hearing myself talk and having people to be accountable to, and knowing there's other people that my story could help and inspire, right? That shit's real, man. And it helps me. So I don't know what helps you. But if you have the desire, period, if you have the desire to stop, remember, every high comes to an end. And every high has its balance of low. So don't ever think you're getting away with it. Don't ever think you're winning, because you're not. You're never going to outrun any problem. You can only face it. You're never going to smoke it away, drink it away. None of that. And that's what you're doing. You are not in tune with yourself. You are holding on to a belief of yourself that is not true. You're holding on to a belief of the reality that's not true. You're limiting or lacking yourself because you don't believe that you're all that is. And you are and more. You're everything. You are the highest pinnacle. You are the creator having an experience. And the creator loves you unconditionally. So it will let you get into the deepest, darkest hole possible, because that's a valid expression of all it is. Just as much as it'll let you get into the most abundant expression, the most abundant, positive, exciting expression, where you're on a plane every weekend, going to a different corner of the United States, a different country. That's just as valid as the fucking lacking one. They're just beliefs that you change. I went up to the girl working at Motel 6 today, and I said, you want to know what between the differences between you working here and the guy that owns it? She was Mexican. She could barely even speak English, but she understood me. And she looks at me kind of funny, and I said, nothing. No difference. You're just as worthy of anything you want as anybody else. And I don't care. You can keep coming here and working here every day, but do one favor for me, okay? And they kind of already knew me because I always like to say funny things in Spanish, and they kind of laugh at me. And I looked her in the eyes and I said, believe that anything can happen and believe that it will. And that you may be fortunate enough to believe that you can spend all your time with your family because you will be taken care of and you will be able to live the life the way you want to live it and not cleaning somebody else's hotel, because that's not what you really want to be doing. But you believe that you need that money you don't have to support your family, and because you believe that, that's how it is. But hold on to that belief that it could come from another way. Hold on to the excitement that your family brings you, that spending time with them brings you, and see if something doesn't come your way. That's all. And she looked at me in the eyes like she never looked at anybody before, that like no one ever had believed in her life. She looked at me like, really? I can have those beliefs? Like, I'm worthy of anything I want? I can be worthy? I can dream these dreams? I can look forward to them? And I was like, you're damn right you can, homie. You God just like me. Respect. Anyway, that's my rant. Second video of the day, because I'm inspired today, because you know, us addicts out here, we all need that help anytime we can get it, because you know, strength is strength, motivation is strength, and it is good to be motivated to be strong, right? Woo! I'm wearing these sunglasses. It ain't even that nice out, but I really like them. Woo! Alright, y'all, I'm gonna go treat myself to some romance. Might go run a hot bath, cut the lights out, sit back and relax, listen to the water crash down. I love meditating in the bath or in like the shower, or just whenever the water's just falling down and just hitting me. It's just like, and you could just like sink into that sound, right? And it just lets like for somehow for me it's like super soothing. Like it lets me like let go of all my cooped up beliefs and cooped up like whatever I have holding on to. It just helps me unwind. I don't know, something about the sound of the running water. Sometimes I'll even take the drain and I'll just like let it run so it just keeps on like not getting full. It just keeps on running. Or I'll like make it run really soft and just pull it out like halfway. I just love the sound of the running water. So, yo, I'm just rambling now. Anyway, y'all have a great Sunday evening. I'm gonna go sit down in this field over here, watch some kids play, be grateful for everything I have, and listen to my heart for a little bit, because that's where motivation and inspiration come from. When you get quiet, get out of here and get into here and start feeling your visions and start seeing your feelings. Later, guys.